What's up guys, Damian Keyes here, welcome back to the channel. So I've been noticing a lot of comments recently about people who are releasing for the first time. Also, people who are releasing without any money, and on top of that, people who don't feel like they've got a fan base, but they do have a small audience, mostly of friends and family. So are these things the same? Do we release in the same way? Or do we have different strategies? And the answer to that is yes, we do. We should have different strategies to release under these circumstances. So let's deal with these three outcomes. Number one, if this is your first release, let me tell you something. You are in luck. This has just become a major opportunity. I know that sounds really crazy, but bear with me because you've never put anything out before. So you have time to get your house in order before you put out that first track. You've got time to go and make sure that your socials, that your banners, that everything is ready so that when you do put out that release, you're capturing attention straight away. If you think of it like a bike, when you get on a bike, as soon as you've pushed off, in order to get the momentum, you're constantly putting yourself off balance. So you push down on one pedal, in order to get yourself back on balance and get faster, you have to push yourself up on another pedal. And then that kind of goes backwards and forwards as you gain the momentum. Very, very similar when you're putting out music. As soon as you've pushed off, you've got that momentum, and at which point you've got to then start releasing the second and the third and the fourth in order to keep gaining that momentum. So what we're about to do is make sure that everything is ready before we take that first push off and that first pedal. So your job for the first few releases is more about quality and experience. It's making sure that on the odd chance that someone does come through, listen to your track and leave a comment, you are ready. When someone passes through your house, they stop and they pay attention. That is the first job. And so with that in mind, we need to think about where you are going to house your music, because it doesn't have to be Spotify. There's no reason why you can't build a following starting on SoundCloud or even starting on YouTube. Heaven forbid, how crazy. All this is about is putting something somewhere, getting people to pay attention and looking after those people. So if you don't feel ready to put your music out on Spotify yet, guess what? You don't have to. SoundCloud is still a legit place. In fact, there are many, many big artists who still release music on SoundCloud just to go alongside everything else. SoundCloud has everything you need to be able to get started to build a fan base. Because if you think about it, it's free, it's easy. You can upload straight away. You can have up to 3 hours worth of music on there for nothing. And you still get all the great features. People can still listen, people can still comment, which means you can comment back. And the same goes for YouTube, which means we need to set our house up so when someone does come along, they stop and pay attention. So therefore, pictures, banners, about sections, and the stories, everything can go into all of these three platforms. Your banners are absolutely crucial. Your photos are absolutely crucial to tell a story. And if you're thinking, but I don't have any money to take photos, well, in which case, you've got to be a bit more creative. You've got a phone, and if you've got a phone, that means you can do photos for free. Now, if those photos aren't good, then you either need to learn how to do some good photos, or very simply, go and look at some hashtags in your city, in your town, see some people who've got an eye for photography, send them a message and say, can I ask a favor? Even if it's out of your friends on Facebook or Instagram, you take really good pictures, can I ask a favor? If we set up a photo shoot, would you mind coming and taking some photos? I mean, maybe there's a beer in it for you somewhere. Same goes for the banners and the about section. When it comes to banners, you might not be very good at graphics, but there must be someone that you can call upon to say, I just need this banner for Spotify or SoundCloud. I need this banner for YouTube and I need this banner for Facebook. They're all slightly different sizes. I don't understand. I've got a photo. I've got artwork. Can someone help me? You'll be surprised. People will jump at the chance to come and give you a hand. Same thing when it comes to the about section. We need to tell great stories. And in order to do that, you need to tell people who you are, what you stand for, and take people on this exciting journey that you've just started. And yes, when I say you need to stand for something, it doesn't need to be something political. It can just be, this is who I am. I love music. This is how I started. I sing songs about my experiences and my life and things that I noticed, and I would love you to come on this journey with me. And you'll be surprised. People will read it and take it in and go, I relate to the way that you're telling your story, or I relate to something about you. And that is how you start to hook people in. Next, friends and family matter. Now notice, so far, no money down. We have no money, no fans, and we have started to put music out for nothing. So far, no money down. Friends and family are so important because friends and family will start to do the work for you because that's what they're there for. They're there to support you, to love you, to look after you. So when you've got something and you put something out and you start getting friends and family commenting and sharing, all of a sudden other people can now see it and get involved. Also, especially with your first release, that's when friends and families really come into action because it's the same as your first gig. Getting people to your first gig is always a lot easier because everyone's excited for you and they want to come and watch you play and be a part of that first gig. When it comes to your third, your fourth, your fifth gig, normally the audiences start to die down a little bit and it becomes a little bit harder. Same thing with a release. This is the chance where your friends and family will stand next to you and say, I'm so proud of you, I love what you're doing, and they're more likely to get involved and share it. Now, one thing that's really important to remember is you are always potentially one song away from greatness, and you are also one song away from changing someone's life. That's the power of music. That's the power of the emotion that is within music. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that one song that hooks people in. It might be your first, it might be your 300th song. But this one is there to start that journey, to get you better at songwriting, to start building the fan base so that when you get to your 50th, your 100th, your 300th, that's when you just get that killer song and everything changes. Now, where your friends and family come in is it might be a share on your sister's Facebook, or it might be your mate Dave who's having a chat down the pub and goes, oh, you should go and check out this artist that I know. Fantastic, you'd really like them. Those things really matter because what you have then is you have an opportunity to get in front of someone, and as soon as that one person sends a comment, you're in. Now, when it comes to your first release, timing is imperative because we don't have an audience to have that build up over that 2 or 3 week period before the release. So it's more about the release and then the next couple of weeks of building that momentum. This is your chance to stick a flag in the ground. This is who I am and this is what you can expect from me going forward. And also, this is the time where you don't big time an audience, which I see far too often. I see so many bands trying to act like they're huge bands when the reality is they get so much more power and so much more momentum from being real. Hey, this is my first song. I'm really excited. I would love you to come on this journey with me. Rather than ego, bang, this is who we are, and we're big timing everyone. It doesn't actually help at this point of a first release. Your job is to tell the story and allow people to be in it from the start. How many artists have you been a fan of since back in the day, before everybody knew about them? It makes it so much more special. And then when they do big time it, eventually, you feel like you've been there before everyone else. You feel like you're in the know. And now you get to flip that around. You get to be that artist. You get to bring people in early and say, hey, come with me at the beginning. And when this goes, we're going to be in this together. Now, being as this is your first release, we don't have loads and loads of music to follow this up with. So therefore, we need to squeeze the lemon. Effectively, we need to make sure we get enough out of this one song in order to keep people going until the next song. So the way I would do that is, can you perform this song live? If so, that should be some more content. If not, can you perform some other songs? Maybe songs that you've been working on, which you're not really sure about releasing. Maybe songs that aren't even yours, maybe cover songs, maybe a way of just saying, this is part of my story. I grew up on this music and I'd love to perform this. Not a release, heaven forbid. I'm just talking about something that says, guys, thanks for coming with me. I just wanted to say thank you. Here's a song that I wrote, or here's a cover that I wanted to play for you, and more music's coming soon. Then you're looking for other ways to tell your story, which is where photos, videos, artwork all come into play. They've heard the song, they go, this is good, I'm interested, I like this. Then after that, you know there's more coming, you're going to tell people there's more coming, but between now and then, what you're going to do is you're going to tell the story of where you've come from, where you'd love to go, what you love to do when it comes to writing, what you write about, anything that just draws people in to say, come on, come and be a part of this community. This is my party. I want you to come to my party. And with that in mind, I don't think artists do enough photo shoots. Why can't you do a photo shoot every single week? That's the genius of the phones that we now have. Go and find someone and just say, I want you to take some photos of me or us, and then we can use those for our social media. Get everyone together, you've got a rehearsal, add on an extra half an hour before or after, and make sure you all come dressed up properly so you look like the act that you are, and then get those photos on your socials. So again, first release, no money, no fans. We are talking about the power of one. Let me tell you about the power of one. One is the most powerful number in the entire world. Do you know why? Because one is a start. One is the momentum, and all you need is one. If you can have one, you can make one into a million, because you can look after one. It's so easy to look after one, to make one special. And when you make one special, one becomes two, and two becomes four, and very, very quickly, you're looking around thinking, there's a lot of people in my party. And an example of this is many years ago, I'd sold a business. I did not know what I wanted to do. I just knew that the business had got to a point where I didn't want to be in it, and I had nothing left to do. And I was thinking, what am I going to do? And I turned to the one thing that I knew wouldn't let me down, which was this bass. This is my 1977 Fender P bass. As you can see, it's battered. I have done 2,000 gigs, and probably 1,000 of them, maybe more, have been with this bass. I've got loads of basses, but this one is the one that comes with me everywhere. I turned to this bass and I just wanted to get out and I just wanted to play music. Now, when I did, I was trying to get some gigs in, and then I got a phone call from one agent who said, we have a gig which is miles away. There's no money. We only want 20 minutes. Do you want that gig? And I just thought, I've done it. I've got it. Because this is the power of one. If I can get that gig, and I can get there and I can make that gig the best gig that it's ever been, I know that that agent will get me gig number 2. I know it. So I said to them, I don't need your money. I'm going to go and do that gig, and I'm going to show you. Because what I see this as is you're just trying to break the door open enough, or the window, so you can get your fingers in. Because when you can get your fingers in, you can rip the fucking door off. And that is the power of one. If I can get there and I can make something the best it can possibly be, to look after people like they've never been looked after in their entire life, I know 2 is easy. And 3 and 4 and 5 and 100, that's the easy bit. The hard part is 1. And that is the power of one. So let's look at 3 very quick takeaways. Number 1, take advantage of the fact that this is your first release. This is an opportunity. This means that you can get your house in order. This means you can get everything ready to slingshot you. And then when you do that, don't big time everyone. Tell people, this is the start. I want you to come with me. I want you to be here from the start. That's a powerful statement, so lean into the opportunity of starting. Number 2, everything is an opportunity. Every comment is an opportunity. Every subscriber is an opportunity. Every share is an opportunity. Every friend that talks to you about your music is an opportunity to get something in front of someone who hasn't seen or heard you before. If you can do that, you can make 1, 2 very quickly. And number 3, get your house in order. Make sure that before you do put out that release, you have got your photos in order. You have got your banners ready. You have set up your party so when someone comes in, you can look after them. And please don't forget, no money is fine, but it is not an excuse. No money is not an excuse to be able to build a good fan base if you can look after people. Also, having no fans, just friends and family, that is not an excuse either, because you can still look after people and you still have friends and family willing to help. And let's not forget that we all start with the same amount of subscribers. None. We all start with friends and family who are there to support us. My mum still comments on most of my posts, and I absolutely appreciate it because she still does that and she still wants to be a part of that. So thanks, Mum. So there you go, no fans, no money, first release. You guys have still got an opportunity to start something and make it absolutely amazing. So I want to know if you have got a first release or you've got a release coming up, then get it in the comments below. I want to see. I love working with you guys. I love seeing what you guys are putting out there. So get me your links in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. If you can do me a favor, if you can like, subscribe, really close to that 100,000 subscribers. I'm just really excited. I'm really proud of what we've built over the last couple of years. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.